You are listening to the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast, episode number 33.
You are listening to the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast with Nikki Lee Gorovich, the faith, health, and business style podcast for Christian boss moms, so you can train from a fellow mompreneur and other experts how to run your business, raise your babies, and maintain your health, all while keeping God at the center of it all. Here's your host, organic obsessed, crazy chicken lady, and world's okayest mom, Nikki Lee Gorovich.
Welcome back to the Healthy Happy Mommy podcast. Super excited you're here as always. Today I have a really cool episode for you guys. I really want to share some really important information with you because I am getting a lot of questions about keeping the kids healthy during this season, keeping ourselves healthy during this season, and how to make sure that you don't catch the flu and you don't catch colds and whatever else is going around, because you know that our kids are little petri dishes and they're constantly coming home with some sort of something from school. And yeah, we don't want to get sick. So I have a lot of people asking me, what do you do to keep your kids healthy? What do you do to make sure that you don't catch the whatever's going around? So there's a lot of things that you could do, and I'm not going to go into all of those things, but today I'm specifically going to talk to you about the body's first line of defense against disease, which is our lymphatic system. And if you are friends with me on Facebook, you probably have already seen my Facebook Live video that I did today about this. I just touched on it. I didn't give all the information, but basically our lymphatic system is the largest detoxifying system in our body. And if you think about it like a drain system where you have in your house, like you have your toilet and it drains down to the pipes and cleans out everything, or, the pipes in your sink and things like that, drains everything out. Well, that is the same thing that we have in our bodies. It's a drainage system. And what it does is it keeps the bodily fluids in balance and defends the body against infections when it's properly working. So the lymphatic system has three main functions. And today I'm just going to tell you guys about the lymphatic system and why it's so important, some symptoms of a sluggish lymphatic system, and then I'm going to give you 14 ways that you can boost your lymphatic system to make sure that you're in proper health. So just want to touch on this real quick with you and let you know what exactly the lymphatic system is, because you might be like, okay, I don't even know what you're talking about. So I just want to explain it to you so that you can understand it a little bit. And then I feel like once we understand what it is we're dealing with, it's a lot easier to take care of what it is we need to take care of when we understand it. So the three main functions of the lymphatic system are, number one, that's the removal of excess fluids from bodily tissues. And swelling actually is going to start occurring when the lymph fluids build up due to lymph stagnation. Number two, it's the absorption of fatty acids and the transport of fat to circulatory system. And number three, it is responsible for the production of immune cells. So like I said, when your lymphatic system is pumping properly, your immune system is able to be regenerated quickly. It's able to function properly. So like I said, again, it's literally your body's first line of defense against disease. So you definitely want to make sure that you are caring for this very vital system of your body. The vessels and the nodes of the lymphatic system transport the good antibodies and remove the bad bacteria. So that's why we really want to make sure that it's pumping and flowing as it should. So the big difference between the cardiovascular system and the lymphatic system of the body is that the lymphatic system does not have a pump the way that the cardiovascular system does. Obviously, our heart is responsible for pumping the blood all throughout our body, right? So the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like that. It actually relies on our muscle contraction and relaxation in order to work. So the way that it works is through our muscles moving and relaxing. So it's actually a vertical system as well. So if you think about when you're standing up, it's working. When you're laying down, it's slowing down because your muscles aren't contracting and relaxing the way that they normally would be if you were standing up. So what I want you guys to think about is that the lymphatic system is flowing from top to bottom and towards the heart. And what we want to do is make sure that we are doing everything that we can possibly be doing to make sure that the lymphatic system is not sluggish, that it is working the way that it should be working, because when it isn't, we start to get a whole host of symptoms that I'm going to tell you about so that you can identify if you possibly have a sluggish lymphatic system. So here are some of the symptoms: water weight gain, joint pain, your rings are tight around your fingers, fatigue, sluggishness, fibromyalgia, acne, cellulite, chronic eye bags, postnasal drip, swollen tonsils, bloating, puffy face and neck, swollen extremities, breast swelling, lethargy, brain fog, frequent recurring illness, slow recovery from illness, and constipation. And of course, there's some more symptoms, but those are like the main ones. And I'll tell you right now that I know for sure I have suffered with multiple symptoms here that I just read you. And I'm sure that you guys have some of them as well, whether you have them now or you've had them in the past. I want this to be a little bit of a wake-up call for you to understand that your body is trying to tell you stuff when you have symptomatic things happening. It's like our culture says, okay, if you have a symptom, here, take a pill to put a Band-Aid on it. So if you have acne, here, use acne cream, which is like some sort of steroid usually. And, okay, fine, it might take your acne away on the surface, but it's not actually fixing what's going on underneath the surface in your body's system, which is what is responsible for your overall health. So that's why I'm super passionate about holistic health, because holistic health looks at the reason why the body is sick, the reason why we have symptoms, not okay, how do I fix this one symptom? It's like, how do I make my body work the way that it's supposed to work so that I don't have any symptoms at all? So one of the main causative factors for a lymphatic sluggishness is stress, because the stress chemical cortisol is extremely acidic and causes lymph stagnation. So the body doesn't actually work well in an acidic state. It actually works in an alkaline state the best, and cortisol is actually very acidic. So because we're always so stressed out, we are always having cortisol being pumped through, and that causes our bodies to be acidic. And when our bodies are acidic, the lymph fluid can't pump properly, and therefore it can't actually detoxify our system. So what I really want you guys to look at is that this is like a huge circle. All of this is a big old circle of, health. Like, we start at the very core of why we are the way that we are. It's like we have to really look at all the surface levels. It's like peeling back an onion. There's so many layers to our health and why we have certain things wrong with us or why things are good. And we really, really need to look at the very deep down core foundation of our body and what's causing us to have certain symptoms. And this is like at the very core of everything is the lymphatic system. So obviously helping the body cope with stress is a huge, huge way that we can make sure that our lymphatic system is functioning at its highest level. So a couple other things that I want to tell you guys about is that the lymphatic system is very actually not just the lymphatic system, but our whole system. Our body is very forgiving. It's very smart and it's very forgiving. So what I want you to know is that when I tell you all these things, if you've been finding that you're struggling here and you have all these symptoms and you don't even know where to start and what's gonna, what to even do right away, I want you to know that your body is forgiving. And if you have damaged your lymph nodes, if you've damaged your lymphatic system, it regenerates every 24 hours. So you can start fresh tomorrow, right? Like, you're good. It'll be fine. Just start fresh. make a decision to start over and do something better for yourself tomorrow. So I'm going to give you a couple just quick little things that you can do to boost your lymphatic system, but then I'm going to give you the 14 solid ways that you can change it. Okay, so the first one is nasal breathing exercises. So when you do your breathing exercises, what you want to make sure is that you're breathing in through your nose and that your rib cage expands out. And that your stomach fills up with air. So if you put your hand on your stomach and you breathe in through your nose, you should feel your stomach expand and get full of air. That's how you know that you're breathing into your lungs and not into your belly. Into your belly and not into your lungs. Like, you don't want your chest expanding, you want your stomach expanding. And that actually is a huge area of the lymphatic function, because that's the thoracic area and that's where the main lymphatic area is, and that will actually get the lymph fluid flowing very well, and it will get it, to where it's starting to pump out. The other thing you can do, obviously, is to improve your gut health, because again, our immune system is in our gut. And when we have good gut health, we're going to have a higher immune system, and our bodies will be able to function properly. So you want to be sure you're taking your probiotics and your multivitamins, and eating fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha, good yogurts. You want things with a lot of good bacteria in them, so that you have a lot of varieties of bacteria that are populating your gut. You want to make sure you stay hydrated, so you want to drink half your body weight in ounces of water per day. And if you find that you're dehydrated, a good way to rehydrate yourself is to sip on warm water for every 10 to 15 minutes throughout the day. I don't know how anyone can actually do that, because unless you stay home all day or you sit at a desk all day, and I don't know. I definitely won't be able to do that, but I just want to let you know that if you find that you're dehydrated, at least give it a day that you sip on warm water every 10 to 15 minutes throughout one day. See how that works for you. Eating lots of green foods alkalizes your diet as well. So like I said, we want to make sure that we are in an alkaline state and not in an acidic state. Eating foods like beets, berries, cherries, blueberries, things like that, those are all great and full of antioxidants, and that is great for the lymphatic system as well. Okay, so what I'm going to give you now is your 14 ways to detox your lymphatic system. And these are great. So it might be a little bit of a repeat from what I just mentioned, but these are specific ways that you can detox your lymphatic system. So number 1, exercise and movement. The lymphatic system doesn't have a pump, like I said, so it relies on the contraction and relaxation of all muscles in the body to circulate the lymph fluid throughout the body. And this also, like I said, the deep breathing will do this as well. So the walking is best because, like I said, our lymphatic system is vertical. So we want to stimulate and drain the lymph nodes through being vertical. So walking. The other one that I love is rebounding. So rebounder, I've talked about this before, but it is a little mini trampoline. And when you're on the little mini trampoline, you're just bouncing very gently. It's very low impact, and it doesn't take up a lot of space in your house. It's inexpensive. You can get it on Amazon, but it's a great way to stimulate the lymphatic system and detox that system. Okay, number 2 is a hot and cold alternating shower. So you want to alternate between hot and cold throughout your shower 6 or 7 times. This contracts and relaxes the lymph vessels, and cooling and warming of the body alternately makes the blood move in and out like an accordion. So the lymph fluid moves alongside it, releasing the stagnation and toxic buildup. So if you feel like you have trouble with the hot and cold and you're sensitive to it, or maybe you're pregnant, or you have like other things where you just can't stand too many extremes, just build up slowly if you need to, and use the cool and warm water, not hot and cold. Okay, number 3, eliminate dairy. So I eat dairy, I'm not going to lie, but one thing I do know and one thing I do avoid is dairy during sickness. So if my kids are sick, or I haven't been sick in years, but if I was to ever get sick, I would immediately take out dairy, because dairy builds up and causes mucus, and that increases the lymphatic stagnation. So you want to try to avoid dairy as much as possible if you find that you are having a lot of these symptoms. Like if you have chronic acne and eczema and things like that, it really is a good idea to take dairy out of your diet for a while and see if that helps clear it up. Number 4, lymphatic massage. And I just did a video on this on my YouTube channel because I looked it up, and actually my chiropractor was the one that told me about this. And so I looked it up, and it's called manual lymphatic drainage or lymphatic pumping. And I did the one just like for the face, so you can increase your like fluids in that area if you're feeling congested, or if you have eye bags or swollen eyes or puffy eyes, things like that. This is a great massage for stimulating the lymphatic system in the face. Number 5, apple cider vinegar. So apple cider vinegar is amazing. I'm sure you know this already, but it supports the immune system so well. It has a whole host of benefits, but if we're speaking specifically about the lymphatic system, 1 to 2 tablespoons per day will soften any hardened lymph nodes. And there's just so many benefits to it. So I would definitely encourage you guys to Google apple cider vinegar and the lymphatic system and just see what comes up, because there's so much. Just the one thing that you want to be sure that you get when you buy apple cider vinegar is that you get the organic kind with the mother, because the mother contains all the good stuff, and you want to make sure that it has the mother in it. All right, number 6, you want to reduce the amount of protein that you consume. Consuming too much makes our bodies acidic. Like I was saying, acidic is not good. So if you've ever suffered from gout, or you know somebody that suffered from gout where you have all of that swelling in certain areas like your feet or your hands, it's so painful. Well, that's because you have too much acid in your body, and your kidneys are flaring. So your kidneys are the things that filters acid, and too much acid can damage your kidneys. And the kidneys are the main filters of the lymphatic system. So see how it all kind of ties together? If the kidneys can't filter the toxins, it comes out somehow, right? It's not going to just not come out. So it comes out through your skin. And that starts to cause psoriasis, acne, joint pain, eczema, arthritis, things like that. So like I was saying to you before, the human body needs alkalinity. So we really want to be sure that we're eating alkaline foods. We're avoiding the acidic foods as much as we can. We want to be consuming lots of fruits and vegetables, as low amount of processed foods as we can, especially if you're suffering badly from one of these symptoms. Number 7 is sweating. So you can sweat in a sauna, you can sweat through exercise, however, but you want to allow your body to sweat. Eliminating the toxins through the skin, which is the largest organ, obviously, is great because it helps to detox all of those toxins out of your body. So you want to induce your body to sweat and allow that detox to happen. Number 8, include citric fruits, like sour fruits. So you want to eat things like lemons, limes, things that are sour cherries, because that causes contraction within the lymphatic system and within the vessels and the nodes. So when the lymph nodes contract, it cleanses, pulls, and detoxes through the lymphatic system. So eating things like lemons, you know, when you suck on a lemon and you like get that like reaction where you have to like contract your face, all of that contraction, that actually stimulates the lymphatic system. Number 9, and this is one of my favorites, I actually have this, is a dry brush. So dry brushing has been used for hundreds of years. It's basically like a harder, coarse brush, and it's attached to like a long stick so you can reach all of your body. But you basically just brush super gentle strokes in the direction of your heart, like circular motion, and you do it on dry skin. And they say to start it like in the first part of the day, because that's when it like stimulates your body the best. But it reduces cellulates, it pulls the lymph nodes out, like it pulls them like in the direction that they need to go, so that it's pulling the lymph fluid. And of course, it gets rid of your dead skin cells. It's just super awesome. There's so many benefits to it. So that's definitely one of my favorites. I got my brush on Amazon. It was like $20 or something, but you get a face one and a body one. So it's awesome. Number 10, use natural herbs. So mangista is a red root and dandelion root are two herbs that allegedly are good for the lymphatic flow and just boosting the lymphatic system. But as always, please be careful with herbs because they can be dangerous when consumed not the right way. So make sure you do your research before consuming any herbs. Number 11, consume as many organic fruits and vegetables as you can and avoid preserved processed foods as much as possible. So we already talked about this. Number 12, do not use an antiperspirant. So you don't want to prevent your body's ability to sweat, right? We just talked about how sweating is a good thing. So we don't want to block our sweat glands, but I know we also don't want to stink. So the happy medium here is to use deodorants that are not an antiperspirant, and they don't contain toxic chemicals like aluminum and the other ones. I use a natural deodorant that is, I think it's called Schmidt's, SCHMIDTS or something like that. And it's like bergamot and lime. This way you have like a little something on you, but it's not blocking your sweat and you're not putting harsh chemicals so close to your breast tissue. That's definitely a big, big no-no. You don't want to be wearing deodorant that has chemicals in it. Like, absolutely not. It's not good for your body at all. Number 13, stop taking pharmaceuticals. So obviously the more pharmaceutical drugs you put in your body, like NSAIDs and just fake, synthetic chemicals, the harsher it's going to be because your liver and your kidneys have to filter this out, and you're forcing your lymphatic system to go on overdrive, and you're putting toxic things into it. So the healthier you live your life, the healthier your diet is, will keep you from needing these drugs and relying on NSAIDs and relying on other things that are causing, issues in your body. Okay, and then number 14 is avoid overeating. So you want to make sure that you're eating when you're hungry, not just eating just to eat, don't just eat because you feel like you should be eating. If you're not hungry, don't eat. And you want to make sure that when you do eat, you're chewing properly and that you're being mindful about your food, you're chewing slowly and swallowing properly. The other thing is you want to make sure that you're not drinking a lot of liquid while you're eating because that keeps your saliva from forming in your mouth, and so it kind of interrupts the digestive process because when your saliva forms when you eat, that's your body's way of starting the digestion process. And when you drink, it stops the saliva from coming out, so you don't digest as well as you could if you didn't eat while you're drinking. So I stopped drinking while I eat a long time ago when I learned this. And it has helped with my digestion a lot. Like if you feel like you're bloated after dinner or you've got a lot of gas after dinner, things like that, try taking out the drinks during dinner. Allow your body to digest naturally using its own saliva to swallow the food. And of course, like I said, eat only when you're hungry and eat normal sized meals. I mean, I love to eat. I'm not going to tell you not to eat. Just be more mindful of what you're eating, when you're eating it, and just, paying attention to how your body feels while you're eating. So those are the 14 ways that you can detox your lymphatic system and all the information about the lymphatic system. And when you guys add all of these together, you are going to find that your immune system is so strong and just on overdrive, and you're feeling awesome. You have energy. You are not sick. It's just great. It really is. And I hope that you guys find this valuable and you just start implementing some of these steps to make sure that you're living your best life, because that's all I want for you guys is to just live that abundant, healthy life for you and for your kids. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.